Good morning, beautiful people. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. I am here at NAB in Las Vegas. I want to take a moment to talk about what everybody's talking about, the Black Magic announcement of their 2 new cameras. They also announced a bunch of different software updates and broadcast equipment, which was cool. It's a really long video. I'll put it in the link below. But let's talk about this Black Magic Pyxis box camera for just a second. Just in case you want a quick rundown on what the specs are and just why this camera is getting so many people hyped up. So first of all, it's turning away from the ergonomics that they've had in the past with like the pocket line that has more of that mirrorless DSLR, you know, short, narrow, or I guess you would say shallow, rectangle body. You know what I'm saying? I've got like 3 cameras laying here, but I don't feel like grabbing them. But you know what I'm talking about, the Black Magic 4K, pocket, all that kind of stuff. So they're moving to that boxy style, kind of like a Komodo or a Alexa Mini, maybe. Or really, it looks more like a FS6, something Sony would make. And even that Panasonic cinema camera, the EV1 or something like that. It's kind of got that look to it. Of course, on the side, it's got lots of function buttons, which is kind of normal for Black Magic's bigger cinema cameras, like the Ursa and the Ursa Mini and the Ursa Mini Pro. They had like those kind of buttons on there, which I appreciate. I like lots of buttons, which is kind of why I like the Canon C line of cameras. But and then there's also like a really nice LED screen on the side. We'll get to that in a minute because I feel like I had a conversation with somebody at NAB last night at a party, and I just said, well, I mean that screen's cool, but could we have not got like a small flip out LED or maybe one kind of like the Canon C200 has that could be mounted to an arm? It's just a little screen. And right now, man, you cannot talk bad about this camera because, especially at NAB, I've gotten roasted a few times, and I'm like, let's just have an open discussion. Like, why are we so married to camera brands? Like, who cares? Let's talk about the key features real quick. This will be a quick rundown for you, so you don't have to go watch that really long video. So we've got a full frame 6K sensor, and I believe I'm not a Black Magic shooter, although I have owned a couple of them. I believe all the pockets were like micro four thirds and then super 35. Maybe there is a full frame 6K. I know that, so don't roast me too hard. But anyway, you get the 6K sensor, full frame, up to 6K 36 FPS, open gate. So that lets you access the entirety of the sensor up and down rather than just like a 16:9 window. 6K anamorphic, not quite sure what that means. There must be some like squeeze, anamorphic squeeze options built in. 13 stops of dynamic range, which is kind of surprising. That seems a little bit low for like finally coming out with a true cubed cinema body, because I think that Fujifilm that I'm using this week gets 14 stops. And it's not really even heavily marketed as a video camera. I mean, it kind of is, but it's like I was walking around with it, and a lot of people were like, "Wow, I didn't know people shot video on Fuji." And it's got 14 stops, so it's kind of 13 stops just seems slow to me. I'm not complaining. I don't care. I've never been one of those people who just like lives and dies by settings. But let's see. So you're gonna have several different mounts: PL, EF. And I can't remember the others, guys. I'm really sorry. They don't list them on this like short little list I have here. Records Black Magic RAW, of course. Why wouldn't it, right? It has a lot of mounting threads like put all around it. That is something I do appreciate. And that's something I really like about my EOS M Lite. When they designed that 3D printed camera, they added a lot of mounting port spots all over the cube. So it really comes in handy for like mounting all kind of stuff. It takes a 2 CF Express cards, and it has a USB port for going straight to like a SSD, so that's cool. And let's talk quickly about the price. I saw it in several different places where you could either pre-order it or maybe even just order it, and it was under $3,000, but right here we're seeing it at B&H for $3,195. So around $3,000 is what you could expect to pay, plus whatever tax that you're going to pay for that. But yeah, super cool camera. This is like something that the Black Magic community has been begging for, especially when it comes to ergonomics. You know, I think they've just wanted to be able to build out a camera without having the rods, and you'd probably still put rods on this, but you get what I'm saying. Like when you're building out a DSLR, it is a little different than when you're building out a cinema camera that is already kind of shaped like a box that you can kind of mount stuff to. So I think, honestly, man, that's probably the biggest thing everybody's hyped up about. And then the price, like the price is good. That is a killer price for that camera. And you know, if you just throw another $2,000 at it, you're gonna have a sick setup. Now that's assuming you already have some decent glass and things like that. But I'm talking like you could get a, you know, Atomos Ultra monitor, or a small rig monitor, or a small HD, and you know, side handles, and you know, maybe a V mount and the batteries. You could really rig this thing out for around $5,000. Now, what I am going to say is I am so guilty of this, and I guess I'm just getting old, but you know, the new cameras come out and we just get so giddy about them. I remember when the Ronin 4D came out, their cinema camera gimbal built in. I legitimately had to stop everything I was doing that day to just focus on that, like figuring out what the hell it was, how it worked, when I could buy it, when it was available. Sorry guys, air conditioner just kicked on behind me. But yeah, and I was just, dude, I literally remember like I couldn't do anything that day. I had to call all my camera friends, talk about it, see what they thought. And to me, that was a milestone. I thought that that was going to change the cinema world forever. And I thought I was going to sell everything, get that camera, and that was going to be the end all be all. Well, fast forward, that didn't happen. I did get my hands on one at a camera store in Philadelphia, but I'm saying all of that to say, I guess I'm finally realizing that it doesn't fucking matter. You know, like just pick up whatever you got and start shooting, and you're going to be way ahead of the other guy that's sitting there going nuts over a certain new piece of tech or gear. And it's kind of contradicting to what I'm doing this week with CineD and Fujifilm and being here at NAB. And I don't want to sound like I'm just being a Scrooge or anything, but I walk around and I see all of this tech and it's cool, but then I have to remember that none of it matters. It's just a bunch of metal and screws and wires. And really what matters is all of the people that I've met, their passion for telling stories. So although this camera is super cool, I'm not denying that at all. I'm going to be at the Black Magic booth today. I'll try to put some footage on screen. I'm probably not going to edit this till tonight because I've got to roll right now. But that being said, guys, do not let gear hold you back. I shoot all the YouTube videos, by the way, on a Canon EOS R. I don't even know what those go for now. I guarantee you can get one for $600. And then I've got a $600 lens on here, and I think it looks great. And I don't just shoot talking head stuff with this. I've shot full-on documentaries with this. And yeah, I don't know. I'm calling bullshit on myself because I'm realizing that in the past I would be so over the moon about this, not thinking about what I was going to shoot with it, not thinking about the next story I wanted to tell. It was all about the camera and the specs and that kind of thing. And all those things are important, and I can nerd out on them as well. Just really take a step back and think about like what kind of legacy you want to leave and what kind of stories do you want to tell. And then just get gear that's good to do that. You know, if you can afford like the best stuff, cool. If all you can afford is a Canon T6i, learn how to make that T6i look the absolute best that it can look, and then just tell your story. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I'll make maybe another video on the camera going more in depth. I probably won't do that though until I actually get one that I can review. But yeah, I'll be here in Las Vegas all week, so I'm going to try to make some content like this. I'm not going to make a lot of content in the show because I'm working for Fujifilm and CineD. If you saw my last video, we talked about that. I just want to be respectful of them, so I'll make some videos here in the hotel and maybe go around and make some more videos outside of the hotel. I do plan on using the Fujifilm X-H2S and my Canon EOS M to go around Vegas and just kind of do some more testing with both of those cameras. You guys seem to like the test videos of like just footage, and I think that, you know, like you're in Vegas, right? So there's a lot to point the camera at. So we'll probably do some videos like that. But thank you guys so much for watching this video and clicking on it, and make sure you like and subscribe for more content. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow probably. Bye-bye.